Hello, this is Justina from colorkeelycrochet.com and welcome to Bobbles of Snow! Спасибо. Hi, how are you? This is Justina from Color Keely Crochet. I hope you're having a great day, and today we're making the Bobbles of Snow cardigan. This is an easy difficulty pattern. There is no color change, it's just a simple repeat of a bunch of rows, and then you add your seam, you add the ribbing, and it's done. So I'm using a 9mm hook, and this yarn is called Lion Brand Vanna's Choice in color Fisherman. You can find all the details of this pattern on my blog, all the size details, all the chain details, everything you need to know. So the pattern for this swatch is going to be a multiple of 3 plus 2. So I think I'm gonna make 17. So row 1 is single crochet into the first, second chain from the hook and in every stitch. So get your stitch markers. I'm just using safety pins. So the first block of the pattern is 8 single crochet rows, and so that I am completely on autopilot, so I don't need to count and recount how many rows I've done. I simply take 8 stitch markers and mark the end of the row every time I finish a single crochet row. So row 2 is chain 1, single crochet, back loop only into the same stitch and every stitch. So I'm marking end of row 2, and you basically keep repeating row 2 until you have 8, until you've used up all your stitch markers. So rows 3 to 8 is chain 1, turn, and single crochet back loop only into the same stitch and every stitch. So you've made your 8 rows, and you didn't need to count because your stitch markers did the job, so you can watch the TV or whatever. So row 9 is, now we're on to this section, which is granny stitch. So chain 3, turn, and double crochet in the same stitch. Now we skip 2 stitches and we make 3 double crochet in the next stitch, and we repeat. We skip 2, we make 3 double crochet in the next stitch. So at the end of row 9 you have 3 stitches left. You skip 2 and you make 2 double crochets in the last stitch. Row 10 begins with chain 3, turn, and we're making 3 double crochets in the next space, and the next space, and the next space, until the end. So we end row 10 with a chain 3, double crochet to the top of chain 3. Row 11 starts with chain 1, turn, and single crochet in the same stitch. Now single crochet in the next stitch twice, so single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, then single crochet in the space between clusters, and single crochet in the next stitch twice, and single crochet in the space between clusters, and this is your repeat. So at the end of row 11, when you've made your 2 single crochets after single crochet in the space between clusters, you've arrived here. So just make single crochet in the last space, and this is the end of your row. So row 12 is chain 3, turn. So we're on to here. So double crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. Okay, now we're making this row. Row 13, chain 1, turn, single crochet in the same stitch. Now in the next stitch we're going to make double crochet 5 together, which is also called a bobble. So these are 5 double crochets partially completed, and then you yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, and partially complete your first double crochet and make 4 more. And now we yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook, and this is your bobble on the other side. So now single crochet in the next stitch twice, and repeat. Bobble, single crochet in the next stitch twice, bobble, etc., etc. So at the end of row 13, when you've made your bobble and you see you have 2 stitches left, simply complete your repeat, which was bobble and 2 single crochets. So bobble and 2 single crochets, and this is the end of your row. Now row 14 is the same as row 12, so chain 3, turn, double crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. So row 14 complete, and now row 15 is the same as row 13, which is a bobble row. So chain 1, turn, single crochet in the same stitch, and we make a bubble and single crochet, bubble, single crochet, single crochet. So row 16 is chain 3, turn, and it's the same as row 12. So double crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. So row 17, which is the last row for the pattern repeat, is chain 1, turn, single crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. So at the end of row 17, we start marking this row of single crochet as our first row. So we take a stitch marker, one of the 8 stitch markers that are still hanging at the bottom, and we're marking the end of row 17. That is because now you have completed this section, this pattern, and now you're going to repeat this block, and this is, which means now you're going to make 7 more single crochet back loop only rows, but your first row is just some single crochet, and then 7 more rows of single crochet back loop only. And once you make this repeat once or twice, you'll start to remember, and all you need to do is just have a look at what you've already done. It's quite self-explanatory. You can see what you've done. You've done 8 rows of single crochet back loop only, then 2 rows of granny, then 1 row of single crochet, then double crochet bobble, then double crochet bobble, double crochet, and again 8 rows of single crochet. So this is your swatch, and this is your pattern repeat. So from now on, you just repeat rows 2 to 17 until you finished every section of your cardigan. So now I would like to show you how to make ribbing. So I'm going to remove my stitch markers. We're going to imagine that we're making ribbing on this side. So to join your yarn, for when you make ribbing, you make a slip knot on your hook and insert the hook with a slip knot on where you want to start your ribbing. And there is, so say I'm starting here, so you'll have to weave this end later on, so you put that anywhere you like for now, such as tuck it behind, for example. So yarn over and take that loop to the other side and pull it through the initial loop. So you've joined your yarn, and the first row of ribbing is chain 3, and we're making a double crochet. So when you make your ribbing on sides like this, it's straightforward. You make double crochet in every stitch, right? But when you make ribbing on the side, all you need to remember is that we're making, so first of all, double crochet in the same stitch so that this chain 3 doesn't stand alone. And now double crochet for every single crochet row and 2 double crochets for every double crochet row because it's fatter. So 2 double crochets behind the post, behind the double crochet post, and then we had a row of bubbles plus single crochets in between. So this is a row of single crochets, so we're making 1 double crochet in that row behind a post, and next was double crochet row, so I make 2 double crochets behind that post, and that's it. That was everything you need to know for making your first row. It's pretty straightforward, and you keep going. So you made your first row of double crochets. Now the next row is chain 2. I personally also like to mark the end of rows when I make my ribbings, because I can easily get lost, and I'm not gonna know how many rows I've made. So row 2 is chain 2, turn, and we start making the front post and back post double crochets. So yarn over and skip the first post, and around the second post wrap your hook around front to back and back to front, and yarn over and bring up that loop and complete your double crochet as if nothing ever happened, and then do the same but from the back around the second post. So we are wrapping our hook from behind, and we're completing the double crochet, and we keep alternating between front post, back post, front post, back post, and this is what creates those ridges for our ribbing. So, and another thing I would like to show you is how to make the slits. So this slit of the cardigan is complete, and so when you look at the pattern, it will tell you how many rows to leave unseamed for slits and for armholes. So you mark, you can obviously from the bottom you mark where you need to start seaming the side of the cardigan, and once you've done the seaming, when the ribbing begins, you make 2 rows of ribbing and complete 2 rows for one side of the slit, so for the front rectangle and for the back. And this is an unfinished slit, so you can see where I've left the yarn tail. So you make 2 rows of ribbing on both sides, and when you're done, then take your front ribbing and overlap it with the back, and all you need to do is basically sew this together while they're overlapped, and that's it. This is your slit. This looks very pretty, and this is the finished side. So this is overlapping and sewed together, and I think that's all I need to tell you. So have fun making this cardigan, and see you in my next pattern.